reason that I started Cross Timbers Youth Orchestra is I thought there was a real void in the market. I didn't see that there was a real opportunity for kids who really loved music to really do their music anywhere other than at school.
Our mission is enriching lives through music for young people and their families. So what I think is unique about CTYO is the involvement of family.
I grew up in a musical family, and I was exposed to music from when I was a very young age. And I thought that was everybody's experience. And then I came to realize in adulthood that that is not everyone's experience, and certainly not an experience that children in this generation and the past one or two probably generations, they didn't have the experience I did.
If somebody comes to you and says, here is an instrument, you can change your life with this instrument, then suddenly they develop, as they gain experience and skill with the instrument, they develop a sense of self-esteem and poise in front of an audience and a realization that they can actually make this world a more beautiful place by playing their instrument. Then it transforms lives, and they realize, again, what's possible.
One of the special things about working with all ages in a group like CTYO is to know that we start with kids at kindergarten, and we actually go through adults. We go through really old kids, 92-year-old kids in our program.
We have our programs spread across the community. We do offer classes, public classes, at the McKinney Performing Arts Center. We offer weekly classes at Holy Family.
So we've got a group of fiddlers over at the Holy Family School that are energized and charged and getting great technical exposure to making music on a fiddle. But I have a 72-year-old guy at the rec center in McKinney taking classes with CTYO. And all of them are on the same plane, and they're all connected by this great music that we do together. I guess I'm especially moved by the young kids and the light that comes on when maybe the bow finally works. And when maybe two strings or the first hand position falls in place, you can see the light go off and they get excited.
Studies have shown that children who are involved in a music program, on an average, score 100 points higher on their SATs than children who haven't studied in music. And that can make a difference between whether a child is accepted in a college or not in a college.
Music has a connection to memory. And did you know current science research is showing us that memories aren't stored in file cabinets in our brain? We tend to think that. We can just pull out a memory from a few years ago. No, quite the contrary. Every time we recall something, we're recreating the event. Every memory is a new creative act. Well, if you think about that, that means that music making is one of the best ways to make sure that maybe you don't have things like Alzheimer's at one point in your life. Or maybe that you're able to memorize things in math class, or in science class, or in history class, because you go through this creative act with other people, and it actually exercises all four regions of your brain in that way. So it improves learning in general.
I once spoke with an important educator and scientist, a man by the name of Mel Levine, who's done a lot of study of this kind of thing. And when I was teaching at a school one day, he asked me, so do you know where in the brain the music center is? Because, you know, we hear that there's a spot over here for language and there's a spot over here for math. And he said, do you know where that is for music? And I said, you know, I don't. I've never really studied that. And he said, because they just discovered that it's everywhere. There isn't one spot. It actually is that is the study that bridges all of the synapses and brings it all together.
I found out about CTYO through Jordan's music teacher, Miss Gibson, at Burt's Elementary School. And in playing in the orchestra at Burt's, she saw where Jordan should advance his skills in orchestra. And so she introduced us to CTYO, and Jordan had an audition, and he did well. And from there, he's been in CTYO for 2 years.
One of the special things about being a student in a CTYO ensemble is it's actually very similar to athletics. There's that sense of teamwork, of working for other people in the group. You know, we can say in a 20-member ensemble there's 150, 200 years of musical depth, but only if everyone is giving all of that experience together.
It's kind of like a football game if you think about it. An orchestra is like a team competing against different orchestras to see which one has like better skills or different techniques and things like that. And everyone has to try their best, or else it won't sound as crisp as we want it to, or like we want it to.
What's wonderful, though, about a musical ensemble is it's not about winning a game, it's about achieving a sense of beauty together. So there's a similarity there, but there's also something really quite unique. So it doesn't depend on whether or not we score enough points to beat someone else. It depends on all of us working together for something that's better than all of us, the sense of beauty.
But what about all those children that might really love art or music or some sort of culture that don't have the means, that don't have the transportation, or don't have the interest because it wasn't what they were taught in their family of origin? And so a program like CTYO is really important for us to be able to reach all kids that were interested in music.
Realize that you can have a voice. This is a way of expressing yourself that could really mean something to somebody else.
The younger that you can reach people, young people, children, the greater the success is that child will learn something.
Jordan and I are extremely pleased with his performance, of course, in CTYO, and just the sponsorship and how well CTYO and all of the persons who put this organization together helped to make the students and the community aware that music is important, and music plays an important role in everybody's life, and we are just extremely grateful.
It is our belief that part of a quality education is an education in the music and the arts. I believe that that's what we're providing to the children and students in Collin County.